Welcome to our Mentor Mondays. So today's going to be a little bit more informal. I didn't make slides for you today. And the reason being is because I've been on the road. So I've been able to enjoy some time with my son, and he had a football clinic in San Diego. And so it gave me some really good drive time, some windshield time to be able to connect with my son, who's my baby, but he's going to be graduating this year. And so it was really important for us to be able to spend some time together. And I think that one of the things that I wanted to talk today about in mentorship is knowing and understanding that in construction, there can be a lot of stress and overwhelm. So, one of the questions that's asked of me of students is, how do you deal with the stress and overwhelm? Like, I have all of these jobs and I have all of this work that is here for me to get done. And I think that first off, you need to make sure that you're organizing and spending time for yourself. But if your mind is scattered thinking about 1,000 things, it's very hard to get one thing done. So it's very important to be organized, and being a project manager or a construction manager means that we need to be very managed and organized in our time. And so this is going to include having personal time that you're also going to use as an opportunity to refuel, reconnect, be able to feel as though you have energy to take on all of the hard things that are going to come at you in your job for that week. Now, I just got done talking with some individuals who were going through a little bit of summer construction stress. And so, one of the things we did is a breathing exercise. And what I love about this is that no one really knows that you're doing it. And you can do it in the superintendent's truck. You can do it in the blue room. I wouldn't suggest that in the summer, but, anyways, you can do it anywhere. And being able to breathe deep and hold that for 4 to 6 seconds and do that 3 times, and with a focus of exactly where that air is going. Is that going into your lungs? And if so, then after you finish those 3 deep breaths, then do 3 more, but then place it in your stomach and be able to focus intentionally of where you're going with the release and the relaxation of that. So even talking about it makes me feel calmer in recognizing that this isn't just breathing that we do every day. This is intentionally focusing on areas of your body that allow chemical endorphins to release, that are going to help take care of some of the resistance in your nervous system that is trying to protect you from the stress and anxiety that you're receiving from the work on these jobs. Now, I know a lot of you aren't going to like hearing this from me, but this stress and anxiety is your responsibility. It is your accountability to yourself that needs to be able to understand that if you're finding stress and anxiety on your project, it is because there is not enough preparation or time going into the management of things before they become a crisis. So this includes talking to upper management and making sure they understand where you're at with the progress of projects and the help that you need on projects and the roles and responsibilities that you thought you were taking on for this particular project that now have expanded. This is also very important when you go to ask for a raise or you go to identify extra responsibilities that you're taking on. Many times as a project manager, we just do the work because we're trying to be a good employee. But really what happens is people don't recognize the amount of extra work that you're doing or what extra work that you're doing. And it's very possible that some of the extra work that you're doing is not necessary, that possibly someone else has already developed a system to put in place that would help you through this. And had you had the opportunity to communicate or tell someone what you're going through, they would be able to guide you to this tool that's going to help relieve that of you. So again, Construction Management Online, we have a great tool that's been released in our skill builder, which is the Open Chat GPT course that leverages Chat GPT. If you do want a copy of that, just put it in the messages and put DM, and I will get that over to you, that link over to you. But that could save up to 10 hours a week just in the organization and management of your thoughts in developing meeting minutes or a progress report or a correspondence letter or designing a project plan for a project that you have upcoming. And so being able to use these tools will help you reduce the stress. So the other thing that I wanted to talk about today is I have this one special student, and he always, when he's getting ready to transition to another job, he always calls me and we strategically talk out his destination map. And this is something that is also offered in my resources. It's a free link in my resources under LinkedIn that you can tap on. But if you also would like a copy of that, then let me know, destination map, in the comments. But what we do is we strategically identify if this next move that he's getting ready to make is really the move for him. Now, a lot of times he is motivated by the money and that it looks very attractive in the moment to be offered $20,000 or $30,000 more than what he's currently making. But then we have to look at your benefits package and what that entails. Does it have a company car? Does it have the same percentage of match on your 401k plan? Do you have the same health benefits that you would with this other company? And so in going through and balancing these different things, we also look at, what is your vision? What is your vision for your life? What is your master plan? And when we identify what this life vision looks like, then we can determine what kind of a project or construction manager do we want to become. Do we want to focus on TIs? Do we want to focus on commercial construction, industrial construction? Do we want to work in residential development? And so when we're doing that, the jobs that we pick and choose need to be in alignment of what our life vision is. So I'll use this other example. I had a student who made really good money as a sushi chef. And I can't say that I don't mind that, because I love me a little sushi. But he wanted to be a construction manager. He also had a wife and a young child. And so when I'm talking to him about making the transition, he's like, I can't. I'm making too much money as a sushi chef. And to make that transition now, to go into an internship and become a field engineer and still be working on my college, it's just too difficult. And it's very possible in that moment of your life, it is difficult. And it's a difficult decision to have to make. And maybe you can't make it. But if you're here and you can reflect and you can make these decisions early enough in the transition of your vision path and your destination map, understand that every job that you're choosing is putting a stepping stone in place that's moving you closer to your final goal. So choose jobs, choose projects that are going to move you closer in that alignment in the construction industry. Now, I've been one that I've told you 1,000 times, if I haven't told you 1,000,000, is that if you can manage your life, you can manage a project. So that means that no matter what job you do, there is a way of angling it so that the skills that you've learned in that job are transitioning and able to be redirected in alignment with construction management tasks. So when we look at managing our life, we're managing our schedule, we're managing our budget. We are doing that with our checkbook, with our doctor's appointments, with our kids' play days. And then you transition that over into construction of organizing a meeting between an inspector and a contractor, setting up your meeting minutes, identifying how much money is going to be impacting the budget through a change order. So a lot of these skills that we're using are the same skills that we've already developed and we've already used in another discipline, another industry, or in our life. And now we're transitioning those over into construction management. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you don't need to have construction experience. The more construction experience you have, the better you're going to be at your job. What I do want you to understand is that you don't have to have all of the construction experience before you get started. It's really hard as a project manager or construction manager when you're the lead, you're the middleman, you're the one everyone comes to for everything that's going on a project. So the expectation is that you know everything about everything in construction. But that is a poor expectation. And anyone who understands the role of a construction or project manager knows that that is not what your job is. Your job is to facilitate information from the experts in the field. So when you need to know how to build something, you go to the contractor who knows how to build it. When you need to understand quality control and code compliance, you go to the inspector who has studied and knows how to do that. When you look at the completeness or incompleteness or accuracy of the drawings and the design, you go to the person who did the design. Your job is to facilitate information and to document the historical story of this project from commencement to completion. And so understanding that is going to give you a much clearer picture of your roles and responsibilities. But most importantly, I hope it helps you feel and understand that you're not ever starting from scratch. You have skills already in place that you can direct towards management. So going back to my student who is getting ready for an interview for a particular type of job, it's actually a data center. And I told him this is an absolute fantastic opportunity, right? Because we can see very clearly ahead of us that the direction is going to go in the movement of data complexes, and him learning that in construction is going to add to his skill set. But then we also needed to, measure. Currently, he's working at home. Now he's going to be on the road. What does that look like for you and your family? And so being able to go through strategically, that T box that you design where you have pros on one side and cons on the other. So really understand that we don't just want to be going for a job because it's an open door. Like literally a headhunter called him and that's why he became interested in this job. He was perfectly happy with the company that he's with. And by the time we got done talking, he understood that it felt good to feel wanted. It felt good for someone to be looking at him and his qualifications and understanding that he has the background to be able to be promoted to a project management position. But we also understood that he loves the company he's with. He has relationships that can't be replaced with other individuals that he's working with. He has a great benefits package. So really, it could just be that he needs to speak with upper management and determine if he is in a place where they might have some data projects coming up that he could work on. and or that he could be looked at for a promotion in the future or very near future, where he can then balance the decision and not just look for the place of least resistance or the path of least resistance and just go through these open doors just because they're open, but to actually intentionally custom design his destination map so that he can work closer towards his life vision. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about today was understanding the role of a construction manager when we're talking about the owner. So we had a conversation that came up today, and it was really clear that people sometimes have a tendency to just believe that everyone on the team knows their role and responsibility and that they're working on it. And I think that it becomes really, really important as a construction manager to understand the importance of the key role of listening in communication. Because often when an owner is setting themselves up for a project, they are going to explain to you what their vision is. They're going to explain to you the deliverables of the project. And when a designer hears that, often they will start designing it in the intention of giving the owner what they want. But then inevitably, their own personal innovation kind of starts taking over and implementing things that the owner may or may not want in the project. And so as a construction manager, it's just so very important for you to be able to continue having very sensitive, alert awareness and of hearing and listening of what the owner is saying and what the designer is coming back with, because the owner doesn't know necessarily how things are done. And so your ability as a construction manager to know how they're done and if whether or not the way the designer is designing it is going to come out with that final deliverable is really, really important. And as I explained, is that you could do it exactly like the drawings tell you, but if the owner's deliverable is not what they envisioned at the very end of the project, then you have not succeeded, because they are going to have a completely different understanding of your success in that project if they don't get what they think that they want. So when you are a project manager, just having a great listening ear is going to be really, really important to be successful in your management of a project, and hearing what the owner is saying and making sure that that is what is being designed. So again, a short 3-question, 3-answer day for you. I hope that it is an absolutely beautiful day. I know the heat is probably really working on some personalities and some tensions out there. And I just want everyone to please stay safe. Try to keep the tension down. Practice your breathing exercises. And whatever you do, be the very best construction manager that you can be. So if you have any questions, make sure to reach out to me. We're getting ready for our next cohort for construction management online. So if you're interested in taking a 12-week program in order to be able to excel in your construction management career, then make sure to message me and I will get back to you. So have a great day.